Okay, very simple. I'll bring my assistant out now, Matt, and he's going to help me with this. Okay, so second posture of small intestine meridian. Okay, so we stand back in the half post stance again. So foot goes back. I'll do it from the side. Foot goes back, pelvis goes up. Okay, half lotus on each hand. Okay, they come slowly, backs at the back pericardiumate, comes back, and they slightly cross, and they're going to lightly touch, yeah, at the wrist, right here. Very good. And now what you want to do is you want to bring it up just a little bit, there you go, and kind of round it in. And yeah, perfect, very good. And so what that's going to do is it throws chi to this whole lower San Jiao region, this whole lower portion of the torso. And it heats up the hips and everything, so it's very good if you have hip problems or joint pain. So he holds this position for 9 breaths, and after that, I'll do it from the side, we make the hands go back across each other and then move back into position, and they don't touch, but they just move around the head. And we breathe out. Okay, so you go ahead and try the whole thing, and I'll take a look at it and we'll see how you're doing. And notice his posture. Posture is the first thing that you do, and then the upper body movement comes second. Very good. He's looking great. Okay, he's got some good heat going on through here. Very nice. Okay, and he crosses back and comes back over. Okay, very good. Now the only thing I could say that he could do a little bit better is when we're here, okay, he did a nice cross, okay, because we're still touching the wrist. We're not going to touch fingers, okay, because that'll ground you out. So touch the wrist, turn the wrists, and it turn back. And when you're doing it, just kind of pay more attention to the small intestine meridian, and you want to get as close as you can to it without touching yourself. And then out. So it's like instead of coming up, because you can actually make the movement like this. It'll work just the same if you're here and you cross and you make the movement just like that. As long as your focus is on clearing out the small intestine meridian. And see, that's the difference between these martial forms from Shun Tao and the medical forms. They work in a slightly different way than a lot of the other Qigong systems that you've ever seen, I'm assuming. It works on the function of the Yi leads the Qi, and not just the Qi is just kind of guided by the Li. Now what all that mumbo jumbo means is that this works on the Yi, the conscious mind, guides the Qi through the meridians. Okay? So the conscious mind guides the energy through the channels just by lightly concentrating on it. So then when you make the movement, it tricks the body into thinking that you've done the actual movement. And it works to, and most effectively, to unblock blockages or create blockages, depending on whether you're using this for damaging or whether you're using it for healing of yourself or raising your Qi level. It's very, very strong Qigong. Most Qigong deals with the Li leading the Qi. Now the Li is the physical strength and physical mechanics of the structure. So as I move, then the Qi kind of follows behind me, and I'm in a state of sung where I have no real conscious thinking. I'm just kind of moving and feeling it, and that's great. You know, it definitely works. But these are some of the more advanced Qigong methods that I've ever seen before, and the Shun Tao system is just filled with great stuff like this that I haven't seen anywhere else. I don't know if you may have seen it, but it's very unusual. I know a lot of different forms of Qigong, and I've never seen one that really uses it like this. So all we're doing is bringing the conscious mind and to the awareness of the energy. Being aware of the energy helps you to guide it better. If your arm is numb, or if you've ever, had your arm fall asleep on you, it's difficult to move or control because you can't really feel what it's doing properly, if it's gone really, really numb. And so if you can't feel your chi, then how do you know it's doing what it's supposed to be doing? You know, only through the postures do you know it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So then your posture has to be correct. The great thing about these techniques is you don't have to worry about any of that. You can just do it and lightly focus on what you want to accomplish, and it will occur all by itself. And then this builds into more advanced techniques later. But so that's the posture number 2 for the small intestine, and a brief explanation of kind of how this works and why. And so just make sure that when you're coming around, you do your crossover, you're coming back around, kind of, you know, just bring your mental focus to that small intestine meridian, and then shake and break, get that stuff off of you. Okay, so next we'll be going over the triple heater and pericardium, and then that'll finish out the fire elements, and we'll start on some other ones. The pericardium meridian is very simple as well, and we're going to use like a fist, make a fist, and instead of putting your thumb in the normal locale, we're going to put it on top of the index finger. It's kind of like a Kyun fist, except it kind of, the thumb doesn't press on top to make the ridge like a Kyun fist. It kind of extends and flattens, and it's like the energy comes out the end of the thumb. And what we're going to do is we're going to trace the pericardium meridian, which starts right here off the side of the nipple and comes up and around all the way down the middle of the arm and then out. And this is the first one for the pericardium. So I'm going to do that. I take a step back, okay, and I'm in a half post again, okay. And so from here, my arm turns up, and I hold a half lotus in this hand. This hand makes the thumb position, like I'm gouging somebody with my thumb. And I come in and I hold right here at pericardium 1, and I do 9 breaths as I'm slowly moving up the channel to 2, 3, and so since there are 9 points on the channel, each time you take a breath, you should be at a different point. So you move it as fast as you're breathing, and then you'll get to 8, and then 9, and then off at the 9th point, which is on the middle finger on the inside. So each time you breathe, you're at one of the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so forth, all the way down to the 9th one. And so very simple. I'll do it without talking this time, so you can get an idea of what it should look like.